It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas. It is Thursday, December 7th, 2017. It is 7 a.m. on this Thursday morning. Hope your Thursday morning is off to a wonderful start.
I'm with you.
How about you?
It's a beautiful morning.
It is.
I like
what
the.
am I hearing?
I've got these coming in hot or something.
I'm hearing the monitor over here. I'm getting a delay. Can you hear that?
Oh, is the TV on?
Yeah. I'm hearing myself 2 or 3 times.
Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there?
There we go.
Oh, good morning, everybody. And wow, it's a little bit chilly out there.
Not too bad at all.
Not too bad.
Man.
Well, it's December. I mean,
had
come
me
on,
all psyched up. It's going to be cold. And I mean, I bundled up this morning. Go let the horse out.
Yeah.
Kick the water trough. Water's fine.
Yeah.
Horse is fine.
Good.
For now.
For now, yeah. You got a blanket on the horse?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it's
chilly.
going to be 10 degrees or something.
Yeah, it's in
feel
the high
like
20s.
10.
It's chilly, but it's December, and it's almost Christmas, so, you know.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. I mean, come on. It's
Absolutely.
supposed to be. It's a perfect Brewed Awakening coffee day, though, guys.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Here we go.
There we go. Perfect day for motorhome.
That, too.
Get your motor running. That ought to be their tagline.
Yeah, there you go. Brewed Awakening coffee. Get your motor. Hey, morning, Sheriff. Sheriff Montgomery walking in the studio. He'll be our guest here in just a few minutes.
Biscuit in hand.
Ooh, he's got a biscuit with him. Ooh, wow. Anyway, Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations. Jacqueline told you in the introduction, 3 locations to serve you. Balmer Boulevard, and of course BRSC lobby, and out by Walmart Plaza area. How about Anytime Fitness?
Or right here.
Or right here. I got a whole pot.
Stop by, grab you something to drink.
Yeah, come join us on the show. Couch is sitting right over there. Chairs. Plenty of coffee cups.
There you go.
And we could probably have a few chuckles here and there.
What more do you need?
Yeah. Just Brewed Awakening Coffee, folks. Best coffee in town.
Come down and give Jerry a hard time.
Just drive through any of the locations. Well, you got to go in the hospital. Don't drive through the hospital. We had one guy try that, and the sheriff put him in Crossbar Hotel.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Drive through 2 locations, walk in the other. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. Now the morning prayer.
Good.
Brought to you by
Sears.
the morning prayer.
Oh, the morning prayer. Okay. We're finalizing that. It'll be brought to you by a Roller Funeral Home. But we'll have the nice little logo and all that.
You're going to get them
Here in
all
just a little
fixed
bit.
up. Yeah. Our thanks to Roller Funeral Home for being the upcoming sponsor of the morning prayer. And now let's pause for today's morning prayer. Excuse me. Heavenly Father, December 7th, another day that lives in infamy. So many American lives lost that day at Pearl Harbor. Lord, my prayer today is let us never let the memories of this day fade from us. I pray that what happened that day will never be repeated. There are still very few World War II veterans still with us, and Lord, for those that are, I pray that you pour your blessings out upon them. Let them know how grateful my generation is for the service and sacrifice, and I pray you bless and protect our military today. And that is my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
And the morning prayer will be brought to you by Roller Funeral Home here in Mountain Home. And
Well, actually, Roller Funeral Homes. They have a whole
statewide.
bunch of them.
They've got the whole
in
network.
our
Yeah.
listening area.
Great service all across the state. Yeah. And, of course, your local weather is brought to you by your local Sears store. Love Sears. Can't beat Sears.
I'm with you. I love shopping there. I enjoy
Tools, of mechanics tools, lawn and garden tools.
basketball goal.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
mine.
and TVs.
Don't be
Yeah, I took
taking mine. TVs is yours, man. Stick with the script here, Scooter.
We got a script.
Refrigerators, freezers, washers, dryers, rangers, microwave ovens.
You name it, they got it.
You know,
And it's easy to get
you
in and
can
out
go
of
to
them.
a
It's a great
box store and you can buy one, but then you can get the quality at Sears, and that's their difference right there.
I love their tools. It breaks. Here you go. I need another one.
Yep.
I love that theory. I love that.
On the hand tools,
Yep.
not the power
Well,
tools.
yeah,
I don't
But here's
think.
something
They're a
else.
little
I've got 3/8 drive ratchets that are pushing 30 years old where the sockets won't stay on because they're worn out. Take it in, swap it out.
Yep.
You know, I had a 1/2-inch drive. They said, well, this one's a little bit more modern than yours. Well, duh, it's like 35 years difference. You know? So I got a nice new 1/2-inch drive ratchet, you know. Went down there, I needed a breaker bar 1/2-inch drive. Great price. And I've got my breaker bar, you know.
Tell you what more could you
Whenever
ask
you're trying to
for?
get the center nut off of a CV joint on the front wheel drive, you have to have a pretty good breaker bar to do that. Sears has them. Check out your hometown Sears store for just about any need you've got. They've got the solution for it there at Sears. We're at 28 degrees in Mountain Home, 26 at Harrison, 32 at Hardy, 34 at Mountain View, Arkansas, 29 at Yellville, 34 at Marshall, Poplar Bluff, Missouri at 31, while it's 25 at Branson and 25 in West Plains, Missouri. It's cold out there. I'm sure the chill factor is just a little bit lower than that one. On the radar, well, I'm going to refresh this again, just make
Okay, go
sure.
ahead.
Well, we're still showing that rain down in southern Texas. A lot of rain in Texas now, and then Louisiana was taking it all up yesterday. Remember that big old green blob in Louisiana?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, parts of Florida, South Carolina, and the East Coast getting it. Well, the East Coast off of the East. Let me try that again. The North Carolina East Coast. I'll spit it out here in a minute. And boy, I wish they'd track north.
Yeah, that's a deep south system there.
Yeah.
That's kind of odd. You don't see that a
You
whole
don't
lot.
see that a whole lot without it skirting at least across half of Arkansas, you know, getting Little Rock and Pine Bluff and Texarkana in there. But Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, all clear. Indiana, Kentucky, as you can see there on that map. There's just not
Awesome.
any precip at all. And then the fires in Los Angeles. Have you seen that along
Oh, my
Wilshire
goodness.
Boulevard? Oh, my goodness.
Town's burning down.
I mean, just it's in this luxury area of Los Angeles. I mean, you know, if you're going to do some praying, folks, pray for Los Angeles today. I mean, Los Angeles is burning down. It is that bad. There's a picture on Facebook. It's on that, what do they call it, the 425? That interstate, I forget the
Something
number.
like that.
I think I'm not familiar with L.A. But fire on either side of the highway. It's just, they said it's driving through hell. That's what they're doing.
You got everything is dry that it is, and then you turn around and you got the wind blowing it across
They've
the
got
road.
nearly
It's-
70 mile an
Yeah,
hour
the
gusts out there off the
wind's what's
coast.
doing it.
Yeah, it's just going to blow it right across
And it's
them
blowing
roads
it
to
right
keep travel.
into the main part of Los Angeles. So they're in a world of hurt. We were watching the news last night, and you know they're of course it's tongue in cheek, but just this wall of flame along that highway, and they said, you know, you're just driving through hell. Is what you're doing. It's that bad. And you can just see the intense heat even in the videos. You know, even on the small screen on the iPhone. So they're just, we need some rain across this country, folks.
Everywhere.
Anyway, there's your radar. Nothing in Arkansas or Missouri right now. You know, hope it moves a little bit north. Well, tonight's the night for First Baptist Church's Nativity kickoff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
December
right.
7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, starting at 6 o'clock. It's a drive-through, the live Nativity. They're on Spring Street. And you can come in from the light at 178, and right there as the highway turns to go out towards Buzzard Roost or back towards the bypass, you turn right. You go down the hill there, or you can come in off of Spring Street, down by the park, and drive through. You going to drive through?
No, I'll probably be at wrestling tonight, but I'll let Scooter talk about that one.
Yeah.
We got
I'm,
wrestling night, huh?
I'm going to drive through, but it won't be tonight. I really do want to take
I'll
my
probably go
family
through Saturday evening or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. But yeah, we've got a high school home meet. Russellville's coming to Mountain Home
Really?
to compete against the high school, and it should be a good match. Russellville's got a pretty good sized team. And
Really?
it should be a pretty good matchup. I think there's only a couple holes here, so as far as weights go, and we should have a pretty good full match.
Yeah. What else we got going on, Jerry? We've got
The Bonus Bucks Bassmasters Classics going on. I
Yep.
think this is the last day of the big grouping, and I think whoever wins this are going to fish the berth for the Classic. So
I've seen a lot of Toyota official vehicles in town, a lot of boats, a lot of sponsored pickup trucks, Alabama tags. I think I saw a Kentucky tag truck all painted up. What do you got
they're
there?
from all over. This is this was yesterday, so never mind.
Is that the blood drive?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're out. Thanks for supporting the blood drive yesterday.
But you can always give blood. Go down to the American Red Cross. I mean, they'll take it at any time, won't they?
I got
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, anytime.
And let's not forget about the food baskets around. You know, we've got one here, Belleville, Harrison, Gassville. I think through the White River Baptist Association, perhaps. Don't hold me in concrete on that, but if you know of a local food basket, then you can buy, a flat of canned goods. Help them out and buy an extra ham or turkey or something like that. Help them out a little bit.
There you
For
go.
folks in need. And Salvation Army buckets are still out. People are ringing the bell.
And they have a few on their.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, weren't you?
Well, we're
supposed
working
to-
on that. Me and Sheila Wingard
okay.
challenged KTLO. We're trying to, she's busy with the photography business, of course, and tried to find 4 hours to get it in. We're still trying to do that. Sheila, if you're watching,
You're telling me, Dale, you can't find 4 hours.
it's not
to
me,
ring
it's
a
Sheila.
bell.
I'll blame it on Sheila. I'm sure this video will get to Sheila Wingard one way or the other. But KTLO is they're still ready to go. So it'd be me and Kim Saichi and Tim Tibbs. I think Tim's on vacation this week, though. So anyway, Scooter, take us a break. We got to get all the time in here. The sheriff has had a busy week, and so we're going to be discussing some things here with Sheriff John Montgomery. So stick around. Time for a quick break, and we will be right back.
Right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
They said, I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready for such a change. I'm not ready to give up my independence. Then, after receiving a lot of love and encouragement, they moved to the Good Samaritan Society. They said, I should have done it years ago.
Senior care and services from the Good Samaritan Society.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
$7:15 on this December 7th, and we have here our sheriff of Baxter County, John Montgomery. Welcome.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And wow, you've had quite a week.
It has been a hectic week, yes.
And so, you know, it's always said when a human life is lost, and we might as well, you know, that's still in the headlines in the paper and everything. And so if you want to talk about it a little bit for what you can and not talk about what you can't, I know that the prosecution is filed against the gentleman that committed the murder, but it's sad, you know, and, you know, Baxter County overall is a peaceful community, but it's still sad when a human life is lost, especially the gunfire.
Well, and I still say, even though this is, of course, obviously headlines and everything, but we still live in a safe community. I mean, you have to think back when the last murder was, and it's a tragedy that happened, but again, in spite of all that, I still think this is a very safe area. And you think about it, if you wanted your wife wanted to go to Walmart or grocery store at 10, 11 o'clock at night, they'd get in the car and they go.
So, sure.
You don't even think about it. And there's a whole lot of areas that you certainly wouldn't do that. So we're very fortunate that none of the officers were hurt that was responding to that shooting. There was a sequence of events that it came very, very close, but fortunately the good guys walked away unscathed, and the bad guys sitting in county jail.
Can you give us a rundown of what exactly happened without breaking the law? I mean, you know, I'm sure there's some confidentiality going on still with some of the law. But.
Well, there's certain things. This case is still under open investigation, and so the press release that we issued, and I'm sure many of the viewers received it. And on a quick side note, if you didn't receive it, the Baxter County Sheriff's Office has a free app you can download on either your Apple or Android device, and just go to the Play Store and type in Baxter County Sheriff. It'll pop up Baxter County Sheriff Arkansas. Click on that. It's free download. If you do that, anytime a press release is issued, you'll get that almost immediately when we issue one. But what we basically said in the press release that we could talk about is the call came in Tuesday. I think it was 8:36.
Yeah, 8:35.
Or 8:26, excuse me, is when the call came in, and then we arrived at 8:35. And there was one deputy, myself, and one state police officer that initially arrived about the same time. The caller on the phone that was on 911 had basically stated that someone had been shot, and that person was hiding, and they didn't know where the shooter was. So when we arrived, we didn't know where the shooter was. And so within a few minutes, as more help was starting to arrive, a vehicle came from around the back of the house accelerating rapidly, and was accelerating towards the other end of the yard. It's a long gated yard where one of my deputies was standing, and so we did have a couple of officers discharge their weapons to try to stop that vehicle, and then the deputy was able to get out of the way. He hit the ditch, became airborne. It was I don't know that I've seen one go that high.
Really?
I'd say probably 10 or 12 feet in the air.
Good grief. How hard did he hit that ditch?
And then I don't know the miles per hour, but he was certainly moving on. And if you look at the photograph, even on the press release, and look at where the massive amount of the dirt is, it's a long way from the ditch. You see a little bit of dirt, but the massive amounts where he hit, which is way on down. And then he bounced and then crashed into my vehicle. And
That's all you needed.
So he didn't have a seatbelt on, so due to that crash, he was injured, and that more or less stopped him. As bad as all that is, if if my vehicle hadn't been there, we very easily could have had a major pursuit going on. It was obviously he was desperate, so who knows? So we're very thankful that it ended and stopped right there, and we were able to take the suspect into custody.
I'm going to see if I can bring this up. Press releases right there. Scooter can put this on the screen. And you can see here, I'm going to bring this picture up right here. Scooter, can we get a zoom in on that? Sheriff, can you see that okay?
Yes.
Now, is this the house, this is the crime scene here that we're looking at?
Yes, there's actually two houses there. That's the house behind where the incident took place. There we go. And so right about where roughly between the gentleman on the right that's measuring and the white vehicle is where.
Right, okay, right in here.
And if you look at the dirt, actually there's another picture, Dale, if you'll back off. And actually look at the picture of my vehicle, it'll show, I think.
Okay, I'm backing out here, Scooter. I got to go back here and pick that up.
Now click that one.
That you're here?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that,
okay,
yeah.
now look at where the dirt is in comparison to where the ditch is. That's how far.
My goodness.
There went some distance.
How much damage was that? What's that, a General Motors vehicle? What's that, Chevrolet GMC?
That's the vehicle that I waited 13 years to get, and it hadn't had its first oil change yet.
Never fails.
And so anyway, the insurance companies were working on it. They'll, I think, probably tomorrow they'll determine whether or not the vehicle's totaled or not. So
depends if it bent that axle right there on the left rear wheel.
So.
My goodness.
But anyway, we're fortunate none of the good guys got hurt. I was not in that vehicle. I was on down to the left, out of the vehicle. So.
And the prosecuting attorney has filed what, murder charges against the
first-degree murder.
Yeah, I figured it'd be first degree.
So he's being held right now without bond. He'll have his appearance in court next Thursday.
Oh my goodness! Wow. You just, it just, and we've talked about this many times. In fact, I think you were in one time when we talked with the governor, the criminal mind. What type of anger causes a situation like this for one man to take another man's life? Is I'm hearing rent dispute or
those are things I can't
divulge.
Can't divulge at this time.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what else is going on? What a week.
Yeah, it has been a
another day in the office.
Been a busy week.
I'm glad it's you and not me. My goodness.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm very proud of the officers and the way that the officers all work together. At that scene, as far as the initial response, you had state police, sheriff's deputies, Mountain Home Police Department came and assisted, and when you got a scene, you've actually got two scenes, if you will, because you got the first scene that's inside the residence, and the second one, excuse me, I'll have to get a cough drop here.
There you go.
The second one is actually outside where all of that took place, because you have to account for every shot fired, every shell casing, and all that. So.
Okay, when you arrive on the scene as Baxter County Sheriff, you got Arkansas State Police, you got Sheriff's deputies, you got Mountain Home PD. Who's in charge of the crime scene?
Well, it's in the county, so it's us. But we work. I mean, we have a joint.
Now, does the state override the sheriff, or the sheriff is in charge?
No, it's in the county. It's our scene. We ask the state police to assist us, and so as far as we're concerned, it's really not one over the other. We're partners in this investigation. Yeah. In this case, I was the first three of us got there at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, the one deputy, one state trooper, and then I was right behind the trooper. So we all three arrived at the same time and went to different locations because, again, we don't know where the shooter was at that point.
So had you not located the shooter, I mean, because I've been down in that area, and it could get pretty, it's not heavy woods, it's just, but you got a lot of fields and trees and stuff like that. I mean, how do you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of. Again, we arrived pretty quickly, and so. Was the shooter still there? Had the shooter already fled in a vehicle? Was the shooter out somewhere else? I mean, those are things that you got to assess when you first get there. At the same time, you've got our safety, so you can't just go walking up to the door, so to speak. And so, in this particular case, he was still there. And
but you have to think and analyze and react fast.
Very quickly.
And I'm thinking of the day that Officer Sell was murdered in Gassville. That whole situation transpired, in 17 minutes from start to finish from the time that you were dispatched out and what took place in Norfolk? Wasn't that a 17-minute?
Very short period of time.
How do you guys get this done so fast? Because if the press release said you guys arrived at 8:35 a.m. and I think 911 was dispatched like at 8:26.
Yes.
9 minutes?
It was, the call came in 8:26. We actually were notified 8:27. I mean, and so we were there in 8 minutes. I
can't get from here to home in 8 minutes.
I was actually near Eastside Baptist Church.
That helped.
I was actually not in my vehicle, but when the call came in, so I ran out, jumped in, and took off, and I had a deputy and the state police in front of me. So again, it's just, but the officers knowing what they're going to, and yet we're going. And those officers, I'm very proud of them. I mean, they're here to protect the community, and they do an incredible job. All law enforcement in our area does. We're blessed. We were truly blessed.
Wow. Yeah, we're thankful nobody got hurt. Can you imagine? Try to get through. I mean, think about this. 8:35, just after. Well, I don't want to use rush hour because we're not in New York or St. Louis, but still, 9 minutes, Scooter, and the situation was under control.
9 minutes, and you had 3 cop cars already there and 3 different areas. I mean, that.
But it says
impressive.
A lot, not only for the sheriff's office, but for the law enforcement, for Mountain Home, the state police. Come together and all the time they're on the radios. They're communicating. Exactly what's going on. Where are we going? Military. What was it? Military at Arcana, I think it was. And nobody got hurt other than the person that's deceased now due to the crime. But wow, what a job. Anything else on that?
I think that's it. I mean, again, there's a lot of things that we can't discuss right now because it is an open investigation. But
how long will that investigation take to complete?
Weeks and weeks. Because again, you're running down every aspect. So, a lot of people think, oh, you got the guy arrested, so it's over. No. In fact, in many ways, it's just beginning because you've got to build that case for trial, for court. I mean, that's what we're doing. And so
every piece of evidence will have to be carefully tagged and logged and
submitted to the crime lab for analysis and so on and so forth. So,
wow.
I mean, they worked. I'm not sure the exact number of hours, but I bet it was pushing 12 hours that we had several investigators just processing the scene inside the residence. So
it's kind of nice to say, they caught the guy, so the threat is
the threat
gone.
is no longer there.
But now the work begins
Yes.
as far as building the case and finding all the evidence. What led up to this point? What's the probable cause? Why did it get every little detail?
So is this where people go in, they check cell phone records, email records, or anything like that? Or, and of course the sheriff can't divulge because it's open investigation. We don't want to, hurt the case. But nevertheless, great job by the Baxter County Sheriff's Office.
Well, and again, assisted state police, city police, we all worked together. I mean, and it wasn't a matter of, I don't want to do that. I mean, it was a matter of whatever needed to be done. Somebody grabbed it and took it. I mean, from directing traffic to keep traffic off of us for a long time. And it was cold that morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing. I was glad I had my winter coat in my vehicle. So
forgot about that. Yeah,
I had to shake the glass off of it, but nevertheless,
It should help people at home, though, get a little peace of mind knowing things are going to happen. I don't care where you live. Situations happen such as this. But to have that immediate response and that immediate
When you consider the shape of Baxter County,
Yeah.
and the sheriff has to cover from the Missouri state line on 3 different highways, Highway 5, Highway 201, and Highway 101. You have to go all the way across the lake into Henderson, past Henderson. How far is it from Henderson to the county line? Another 4 or 5 miles, 6 miles?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe, yeah. And all the way down to Big Flat.
Yep.
So it's a where you have a small city here in Mountain Home, then you go down to Big Flat and you got a lot of rural areas down there, and it's all his backyard.
Yep.
Glad it's you instead of me. You're doing a great job.
We've got a great staff. I mean, and they truly care.
Well, great leadership.
And so
that makes a difference.
We're very blessed. We haven't had an increase in sheriff's patrol deputies in I think it's 19 or 20 years.
Say that again?
We haven't had any increase in patrol deputy staff, and I think it's 19 or 20 years.
How big has the county grown in 19 to 20 years?
Well, I'm not sure, but
we're up over 40,000 in the county now.
Think about the shape of Baxter County, the population of Baxter County, and when we're fully staffed and everybody's there, nobody's on vacation, nobody's gone to training, nobody's sick, nobody's off, we have 3 deputies on the street at any given time.
Oh, boy.
Unreal.
And they do a great job. They do a tremendous job.
Yeah.
But to be able to coordinate with the state police and all that makes a tremendous difference.
Absolutely.
It's called working together. We're going to take a break. More with Sheriff Montgomery right after this. Be right back.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. Your White River getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
7:36 on this Thursday, December 7th, visiting with Sheriff John Montgomery. And during the break, Sheriff Bob Rechtenwald's watching the show on computer. Baxter County population in 1970 was 15,570. By 1980, it had grown to 27,409. I'm going to put my glasses on. These numbers are running together. By 1990, it was 30,317. We're sitting now at 41,053. So basically an increase in 40 years of 30,000 people in the county. I'm seeing here we have 75 people per square mile in the county. You've got a large territory.
Well, and here's part of the difference when I talk to other sheriffs in counties relatively our size. This is a little bit different for us. The other counties our size, they've got more concentrated population and lots of rural area. Now, if you stop and think about it, and I'm talking about in the last, say, 15, 20 years, the population growth, but it's grown out everywhere. I mean, look at Hand Cove. Look at how many houses are out in Hand Cove. Look how many houses are in Clark Ridge. Look how many houses are in, So when you look at that aspect, those other counties have many rural areas, one big, huge farm with one house.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And so that's changing. So
it's like Claiborne County would be like Heber Springs. You'd have the concentration in Heber with a lot of rural areas.
Right. And same thing with Greene County, Paragould. I mean, lots of concentration there and lots of rural areas. So,
but here we're just all spread out.
And it continues because it's not like it's the city that keeps expanding. It's, again, go and look at around Henderson, go look at Gamelia, go look at Hand Cove. All those areas are building up in more and more houses, and the big parcels of lands are being split and divided, and so we've got population that's spread out, not just land mass that's spread out. So it creates a challenge for us.
And so you've had the same amount of personnel for how long?
Well, I'm calling them road deputies because we've had to add at some point we added a detective, but as far as the road deputies, I believe it's 19 or 20 years since the last time we had an increase.
Have you been here since the sales tax increase was approved?
I moved here in '83.
No, this last month we voted that tax increase. Were you here before or after that?
It was before.
I don't think we talked.
I don't think we've talked to him.
No, it was after. It was after.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was after. Because I was here the 1st of November, and the tax passed in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, been here.
I was wondering, because I think that's going to be a shot in the arm for the sheriff's department. I mean, you finally get some money to actually operate with instead of looking for quarters in the couch.
Yes, but it's hard to explain in 30 seconds. But basically, we have two budgets. We have the sheriff's budget, and we have the jail budget. Mm-hmm. The county has what they call county general. In other words, that's the revenue fund, and from there, budgets are given, and each department is allocated money. So if you look on your sales tax, and most of you all listening have just paid your sales tax, and if you go back and look on your sales tax, and I challenge you to do this, go look at county general operating. We are 0.8 of 1 mil. We are the lowest in the state of Arkansas. That money goes into county general. It and the sales tax is what we operate on. The problem is, unlike most every other county, they have a funding source for their jail. So they don't have to take money out of county general, sales tax, like Marion and Scott and
right.
Lawrence, all those counties have a funding mechanism that pays for the operation of the jail. We didn't have that here. So now, with this sales tax that's passed, once it's built and complete, that $0.25 will kick in. So the $0.25 will now fund the operation of the jail. Well, now county general no longer has to fund the operation of the jail. That's where the money will be freed up, and we should be able then to add another deputy, because the caseload of our detectives is ridiculous. We now have 4 court systems going on, and I've got 2 bailiffs. We've got, the paperwork is incredible. I mean, the staff at the sheriff's office is, the amount of overtime I'm having to pay them just to try to keep up with that. And then the road deputies we need. So we need some personnel. And so what I believe that a couple things will happen. I think that will free up enough funds that hopefully we'll be able to add some personnel, and we'll then at that point be able to maybe look at some salary issues, because we're way underpaid compared to other counties our size and other law enforcement agencies. So
why would people dispute what has been done? I think that the sales tax issue was probably the most brilliant plan to come up with, because I'd rather pay a tax on what I buy rather than what I earn or what I own. I don't like income tax. I don't like personal property tax or real estate tax. But when you think about it, that sales tax, like right now, Jerry, the bass tournament that's in town, when these people come into town, they use their debit card or pay cash or write a check, they pay sales tax in Baxter County, Arkansas. That helps fund our economy here. When people come in for the World Series, the Little League World Series, or whatever we got going on, that helps. It's not a total tax burden on us 4 sitting here and the rest of the 40,000 people in the county.
Well, our approach, I think, was unique in that I've not heard of it tried that way before, and we were being watched by lots of other places. But when our whole point was, I don't like a tax either. I don't like to pay tax. And I'm not sure I know of anybody that does. But even the people who are, I don't know if I should use the word anti-tax, but certainly not, conservative to the point they don't want a tax increase. And while I am in that camp, there also becomes a point we have no other choice. So because we have no other choice, how can we make this the least painless way possible? And that was the approach we took. If we just collect it over that 6 months during the summer when the tourists in town, we can build it.
Mm-hmm.
So even people that I know that are, again, very conservative, said to me, I don't like it, but for 6 months, it's not that big a deal.
Who's going to miss that small amount of pocket change,
So,
John?
Again, I think we resonate. It passed 70-30. So I think we resonated with the voters, and we're going to get it built. Yesterday they were doing core samples. They're just now. We got a long way before we actually open bids and start construction, but they were doing core samples on the ground and to get things ready. And so probably around April-ish, somewhere in there, things will be ready where they'll actually put it out for bid, and we'll get bids in and we'll go from there. So we're moving right along. But now the $0.25 doesn't kick in till after the 1 penny is gone. So we didn't again double tax. So that was the approach that we tried to take. Let's try to figure out a way to make this the least painless way that we can for the people out here. And I think we've done that. And so again, 6 months during the tourist season.
Yeah, brilliant. I've got no problem with it.
And so
But now other people have a bond issue that goes on for 12 and 24 and 48 years.
Yeah, there's most of the way it's done is you get a bond issue and you go borrow all the money and then you have that sales tax to pay it back over all those years, and we just
and that makes a permanent sales tax.
We felt like we wanted to pay as we go, and it was obviously we didn't know it was going to work until we put it in front of the voters, but I think people got it. I think they said, hey, we like this. We don't want to pay it over the next 10, 12 years. We can do it in a short period of time, and other people will help pay for it.
6 months, it's done.
Well, I'll put this in perspective kind of teasingly. I remember when gasoline prices were on the rise in the 70s, and we were used
Gosh,
to...
I'm too young to remember that, Dale.
Oh, yeah. What's the cheapest you ever seen gasoline?
Actually, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. When I was small, traveling with my parents, we would go on vacation, and my dad absolutely would not stop any place for gas if it was more than 25 cents a gallon.
Yep. The lowest I've seen it, we were in Port Arthur, Texas, 1971, and Dad filled up at a mobile station for 19 cents a gallon. Yep. 19 cents a gallon, guys.
Would
and
I remember Mom getting so mad, we're going to run out of gas. He said, I'm not paying that, whatever it was, 25 or 26 cents. No.
My dad, we went past the service station one time. It said 37 cents. Dad says, I'll never pay 37 cents a gallon. He didn't. It went to 43 before he needed gas. But here's the point I'm trying to make. If you say, I'm not going to pay 37 cents a gallon, and you run out, you've got a choice to make. You either sit alongside the road, you're going to pay 37 cents a gallon, or $2.11. And the same thing with the city, with the sales tax. You're going to have to pay for this one way or the other. So why not face the issue and get it done with the least amount of problems?
Well, there's still some folks that's not happy. I mean, obviously 30% of the people didn't vote for it. And all I can say to those that didn't, I assure you, we're going to be good stewards with your money. I mean, whether you voted for it or not, it passed overwhelmingly, 2-1. So we're going to be good stewards of your money. We're going to get the facility built. We're going to hire the additional personnel we need, and
keep Baxter County safe.
And we're going to do our best to keep Baxter County safe. I mean, that's a short version.
With that, we'll take another break. More with Sheriff John Montgomery right after this.
Be right back.
They said, I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready for such a change. I'm not ready to give up my independence. Then, after receiving a lot of love and encouragement, they moved to the Good Samaritan Society. They said, I should have done it years ago.
Senior care and services from the Good Samaritan Society.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. Your White River getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
It's 7:50 on this December 7th, 2017, concluding the Down on the Corner program. And Sheriff Montgomery, our guest today. And Sheriff, the rest of the time is all yours. And got about 8.5 minutes before we end. What have we overlooked that you need to bring to the attention of our viewers?
Well, we could sing Kumbaya.
Yeah, we could. Not Jerry. He's off key. He was singing Crosby, Stills, and Nash yesterday, and it sounded like a cat with a tail in the door.
I was getting ready to say, what's wrong with Crosby, Stills, and Nash? But
when Jerry sings along?
Well, I don't know about that. I can't.
You're actually giving the cat credit. It was that bad. No, he wasn't.
I think it was Yoko Ono would be better. Yeah. Anyway.
Does the crime pick up this time of the year?
Typically, a couple things pick up. And thank you. That's a great intro into how you can kind of protect yourself this time of year. The theft crime typically picks up breaking and entering into your vehicles and even your sometimes your home. And there's just a few simple things you can do. Let's start with your storage buildings. We typically have a lot of storage buildings that's broken into, and when you look at it, the vast majority of the time, there are cheap locks that's been put on the storage building. So you can help yourself by getting those real heavy, secure, rounded type locks to put on if you have a storage building. $25 or so will get you a very, very good hardened type lock. It's worth it. And so you can do that. It'll not only protect yourself, but it actually helps us too. Because if your stuff gets broken into, then we're going to be investigating that crime. And so, we again, that's something you can do. Your cars. Keep your cars locked. Now, as simple as that sounds, and I'm not going to put you three on the spot, but I hope your cars are locked in a parking lot.
Yep.
And if they're not, shame on you, because what you've done is you volunteered to be a victim. Anything that's in that car, if it's open, if you look at now, anytime you go into a structure or a vehicle that you're not authorized, that's breaking or entering.
You better double check your lock my car.
So, even if your car's not locked and they open the door and get in it, that's considered a breaking or entering. Okay, but if you look, and we've had films and some of the big box stores where several vehicles have been broken into, and when you go back and look at the video, you'll see them simply walking down the aisles pulling door handles.
Really?
All they're doing is looking for an open door. And if the door's open, they take a quick look around. They're in and out of that vehicle, seriously, 10 to 15 seconds max, and with all kinds of stuff. And a lot of times they'll have a second person that's driving along, and so they just run over, throw it in the vehicle,
and keep on
and then keep right on going down.
So, since your last visit, I've made a practice of making sure that I get the keys out of the vehicle in the driveway and locking it even at home.
Even in your driveway. If you look at the number of vehicles that are actually stolen, 99% of them, the keys have been left in the ignition. So again, how can you prevent it? Just take the keys out, lock the doors. And so what you've done is you've prevented yourself from being a victim. Those are little things. If you've got packages, when you're shopping, try to put them in the trunk of the car. If you can't, cover them up. Keep a blanket or a towel or coat or jacket or something that you can cover up where it's not obvious. Don't leave your medications in your car. Okay. Certainly not in plain view. If you do, your house, lock it when you leave.
Oh goodness, I found. Around Christmas, do some clean. I found a 9-year-old bottle of amoxicillin in a prescription. I've got to bring it down to your drop box.
Yeah, we have a permanent drop box down there. You can just drop off anytime your old medications. But those are little things that you can do to protect yourself and keep yourself from becoming a victim. And it's not that hard. It's kind of like whether you're snapping a seatbelt on, or it becomes habit. So just lock your car. If I pull up, whether it's the sheriff's office or my home or out here, the moment I get out of the vehicle, I lock it. Yeah. Even if I'm going to run in the house for a moment, I lock it.
What about domestic violence issues at the holidays? Do you see a little bit more sense of desperation or financial or depression?
Well, two things. The domestic violence does typically seem to go up, and this time of year, and it's maybe it's desperation, but a lot of time it's the alcohol and drugs that's involved that time of year. We see just basic family members fighting with each other going up. When you put that many family members in a small space for a period of time and you throw a little alcohol in the middle of that, you typically have problems. And so, and it's true even if we have a bad cold snap where the roads are iced and you're stuck inside, our calls go up just because
cabin fever.
Yeah, cabin fever crammed in with people you don't like. Throw a little alcohol in there, mix it all up, and you've got a formula for problems.
I was watching Channel 3 back 1st of October, and Paula Morehouse was on doing a little fundraiser for Harmony House, like we have Serenity down here that we like to support. And talked to her on the telephone. We got to talking about some things. And here's what Paula said: "You have a great sheriff in Baxter County."
Well, we are very, very blessed. I know we get down to about 2 minutes, so let me kind of real quick plug our website and the app one more time. BaxterCountySheriff.com. Actually, even in Puerto Rico, which then maybe we'll talk about maybe next month.
Sure.
I just got back from Puerto Rico, but pulled up the website. We talked from down there. We averaged the last 2 years. We have averaged over 2 million visits to our website. And in October, we'd already topped 2 million this year. The app that we have is a free download. I encourage you to get it. Anytime an alert happens, it pops up on your phone. If you want, you can turn that alert off, but it just go to, again, your App Store, Play Store, type in Baxter County Sheriff on your mobile device, and find Baxter County Sheriff Arkansas. It's a free download. I think you'll really, really be impressed with it. Obviously, there's a whole lot of people impressed with it. It's just astronomical, the support that this community gives to us and the tips that we receive on that, either the app or the website, either one. At the top, it'll say submit a crime tip. So if you're aware of what you think is a crime, it may be a house down the road that you think is a drug house. It may be you've been overheard a conversation, say somebody burglarized a house. You can submit that without giving your name, so you can remain anonymous. You can upload a picture if you happen to have. I know recently we had information came in. They said this is a suspected drug house, traffic in and out all hours of the day and night. They had stopped and snapped a picture, and that picture had, I think it was 3 or 4 vehicles in the driveway and the address of the house. Didn't give their name, don't know where it came from, doesn't matter. But that information is extremely helpful to us, and it's this community working with us to help keep our community safe. So encourage you to do that.
Final 40 seconds. Who wants it? I would say I fully support John Montgomery and as our sheriff and Baxter County Sheriff's Office, doing a great job. And when you respond to a murder situation like that on Military Road and it takes 8 minutes, impressive.
It is.
And like Paula said at Channel 3, you've got a great sheriff in Baxter County, and I agree.
And I have to admit, I was one of the vehicle once he was talking. I used to never take my keys out of the ignition.
Oh yeah,
I just put the car in park, turn it off, leave my keys in. Now I do lock it in and out anywhere I go, but I used to never worry about it.
Anyway, thanks to Sheriff Montgomery for being here today. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
All right.